Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't been with us before, I'm Kendall Fisher, your host and Senior Media Production Manager here at NetSuite. Today, we'll be diving into our Customer Learning Cloud Support, or LCS, Company Pass, which provides subscription-based training for NetSuite users to easily and cost-effectively engage in continuous learning. We'll cover exactly what LCS Company Pass incorporates and why it is so beneficial to our customers, which of course we can only do by bringing on a customer who uses it. CFO of PharmChem Inc, Shana Veale, will join us alongside Singh, NetSuite Vice President of Educational Services and Customer Success, and Kerman Camacho, NetSuite Senior Learning Experience Manager. While we'll definitely cover as much as we possibly can during the panel, we'll also be opening it up to a live Q&A with all of you at the end of today's event. So be sure to use the comments to ask any questions that you may have throughout our conversation, and we'll get to as many questions at the end as we possibly can. And hey, if you don't have any questions, that is totally fine. Just give us a shout out. Tell us where you're tuning in from, and we'll shout out right back to you. We know you're joining from all different parts of the world, so we want to make sure that we hear from you and share that with everyone else. I'm actually here in Santa Monica, California, so shout out to all my SoCal natives. Hello, thank you for joining us. Also, if you happen to be a current LCS Company Pass user, drop a comment about your experience so that others can know like how you're using the service. We want to hear from you too. Even though you're not here with us, we're going to share some of those. So use the comments to do all of that. And with that, I think you're tired of hearing from me. So please join me in welcoming Shana Veale, Singh, and Kerman Camacho. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello.
Oh.
All right, so we asked our audience to let us know where they're tuning in from, and I think it's only fair to ask all of you where you're tuning in from too, or where you're coming from too. So Shana, we'll start with you. Where are you right now?
Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth, Texas. Okay, so we have California, we have Texas. Reg, what about you?
Representing the West Coast from Seattle.
Love it, love it. Okay, we have 3 states here. Kerman, where are you tuning in from?
Also on the West Coast. I'm in Ashland, Oregon, in my living room.
All of us in different states. This is one of my favorite. I love when that happens because I didn't ask you guys this ahead of time. So I love when that happens. All different states, representing a lot from the West side, from the West Coast. But Shana, that's okay. Well, we know you've got the West Coast love since you're here with us. So I want to actually start with you, Shana, before we dive into LCS. Can you give us an overview of PharmChem Inc? What does the company do?
Sure. So I've been with PharmChem since 2017. I started here as the controller, and then I was promoted to CFO in 2021. So what PharmChem does is we're the manufacturer and sole provider of the PharmCheck drug testing sweat patch. The sweat patch itself is an FDA-approved device that is worn on the body for 7 to 10 days to detect, and it collects the sweat from the person who's wearing the sweat patch for those days. Once it's taken off, it is sent to our contract lab for testing. The drugs that we test there's a long list, and I tried to memorize it. So, methamphetamine, amphetamine, cocaine, codeine, morphine, heroin, marijuana, PCP, oxys, hydros, and our newest addition, fentanyl. So those are the things that we test for. Our company is over 50 years old. We began using the sweat patch in the 1990s.
Wow.
And we work mainly with the federal and state pretrial and probation agencies, as well as treatment facilities.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a great team, and we're working to grow our business every day.
Well, that's what we're here to do. NetSuite is here to help you grow and run your business. So that's exactly what I want to hear. How are you using NetSuite in your company?
So right now, we just switched over at the very beginning of this year. So, and with that, we have a new sales team. We have 4 new salespeople, and we have used NetSuite to increase the pipeline, to be able to use from contact all the way through customer 1. So we've been able to monitor as we go along, and we didn't have that in our old system. So this allows the salespeople to know who they've spoken with, when they spoke with them, what they spoke about, so they can follow back up and try and get them to be a closed customer.
Wow. Well, I know we're going to dive into how LCS of course, helps kind of with all of that, and why you know, how you use LCS. But first, kind of going back, I know I gave a little bit of a brief kind of overview of it, but Reg, what is Learning Cloud Support Company Pass?
Sure thing. Well, the Learning Cloud Support, or LCS Company Pass, provides subscription-based training and education to all of our customers in an easy and cost-effective way. It's really designed to meet the needs of the different learning styles that we see across our users with on-demand, e-learning courses, hands-on lab exercises, live interactive events as well, and access to our experts. Now, we have thousands of hours of content that covers everything from, you know, how to navigate NetSuite, figure out how to use it to run your business, all the way to tips and tricks, best practices, leveraging our new features, getting advice from our experts on how to optimize and drive efficiencies using the power of NetSuite. And most of our Company Pass offerings also includes advising sessions. So you get to work with an education consultant who really helps to understand what your learning goals are and facilitates and works with you to build a tailored learning action plan.
All right, really helping our customers get the most out of their, you know, out of their NetSuite experience. Which, you know, kind of brings me to my next question. What types of customers or NetSuite users should take advantage of LCS Company Pass?
Yeah, you know, it's designed for users of all types of NetSuite. You know, we have all types of users. We really have something in there for everyone to benefit from. We built e-learning and we built live events for all different types of expertise, whether you're a foundational new user, new to NetSuite, looking to learn, you know, how to, you know, do things, or kind of like how to get around and navigate. Or you might be a seasoned expert looking at how you can leverage some of our new features. We have content, we have events, and we have a whole lot of material for all different types of users. And we've also built content for all of the different roles that use NetSuite, whether you're a NetSuite administrator, you're a developer using the platform, or you're an end user, an accounting user, or you're a warehouse user. We have content that's really designed for all of your different roles.
And this might seem obvious, but I've got to ask, how does it benefit the customers who are using LCS?
Absolutely. I mean, when our customers invest in LCS, in the Company Pass, they've also made the decision to invest in the people. And we take that seriously. And we've built a massive library of on-demand learning, student guides, and practice labs. And we also run a ton of live events alongside that as well, to make sure that customers have the opportunity to engage with an education advisor on their learning goals and how best to meet them, interact with our experts. And all of this really helps ensure that our customers are empowered with all of the knowledge they need to effectively use and adopt NetSuite. Now, for new customers, like going through an implementation, it can, really helps reduce your implementation risks, make sure your users are ready and comfortable once you go live and ready to adopt NetSuite. And beyond that, beyond the implementation period, we help we drive ongoing learning, and the LCS Company Pass helps our customers with all the tools they need for continuous learning, how to maximize productivity, how to leverage new features, how to do even more using the power of the platform.
That's amazing. Before we kind of continue here, we have a ton of people tuning in, and I need to make sure that I'm trying to get to, I promised I would get to as many of them as possible. So some quick shout outs. Austin in Lexington, Kentucky, Fritz in Kuwait, Greg in Texas, Deborah in California, Harry in Florida, Leonard in Colombia, Jocelyn in the Philippines, Rafael in the Czech Republic, Linny in Michigan, Dan in San Diego, Sergio in Boca Raton, Suresh in India, Ahmad in Saudi Arabia, Yapo in Dubai, Nimesh in New Jersey, and Aurelio in Monterey. Wow. So many people in so many different parts of the world. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and keep commenting, keep shouting out. Again, we're going to try to get to as many of you as possible. I've hit a record with some of these before. I think we've hit almost every single continent before. So keep them coming. That's what we want to do today. So Reg, you kind of walked us through, who's the right fit for LCS Company Pass, what it is. But since every customer is unique, and I know you touched on this saying, we have specific learning opportunities for different industries, but even in their own industry, since every customer is unique, how does LCS support individual business needs and their specific NetSuite usage or customization?
Yeah, the cool thing about it is that we've paired the company pass with access to an education advisor, and we see that all the time. Like even within an industry, every customer has kind of their own secret sauce, their own way of doing things, and we want to make that happen, and we want to optimize that inside NetSuite. So our education advisors really work with our customers to understand what makes them unique, what their unique needs are, and helps them build learning goals around those unique needs and kind of build into a learning action plan. So we kind of drive the personalization and kind of address the uniqueness in that way. We also provide customers with the opportunity to engage with our experts during our live events. So whenever we have live events and we kind of like cover a subject area, we're always like, sensing for, what are your unique needs? How do you adapt NetSuite to fit your specific use case? And we kind of balance that with providing guidance on best practices and kind of merging their secret sauce with our best practices to really get the most out of NetSuite. And then we also have customers with a higher amount of complexity, some of our larger customers that have very complex business needs. We also offer what we call tailored event packs. And these are very, very much instructor-led, tailored, personalized live sessions that we run with these customers to really tailor our training and our education to their unique needs, to their unique configuration inside NetSuite as well. So kind of multiple ways in which we're able to address the uniqueness that each of our customers have.
Absolutely. And at the end of last year, for those tuning in who have been with us through all of our events, I know you may have tuned in for our live panel on advanced customer support, or ACS. So Kerman, how does LCS differ from ACS?
That's a good question. And that was a great broadcast, by the way. If you haven't seen it, go find it. But ACS is about the heavy lifting. So when it comes to ACS, what they do is they help with customizations, implementations of new modules, building custom business processes or reports. They do that heavy back-end administration piece. LCS, we teach them how to maximize the software by showing them the best practices once it's set up and configured. So we teach as it is, and it's all about the return on the investment and making people happy when they come to work because they understand how the software works. So that's what I love about the learning experience team.
Makes sense. And should our customers choose one over the other, ACS or LCS?
I am so glad you asked. And let me tell you why I'm so excited that you asked. Because what I refer to in the learning experience team, when we put ACS with LCS, it's the dream team. On one side, we have the heavy lifters. We have the people who are doing the implementations, who are working on that back-end configuration and such. On the other hand, we have the learning experience where we teach you how to use it. So it's the best of both worlds. And it's kind of like the dream team or the ticket to success, because when you have someone doing that heavy lifting in the back end, and then you have somebody that's coming in and teaching you how to use it to the best of the ability, that's what you want to maximize that return on their investment. Thank you.
Of course, that's the full package. That's how you get the most out of NetSuite. That's great. And kind of like along those same lines, why is it so important for NetSuite users to really continue investing in training and in educational services like this?
You asked the best question. And the reason why I love this question is because so many people, I've been sitting in this role for over 12 years, and people think that training should be a one-time event, one and done, but they're adding modules, right?
Right.
They should always be improving upon their skill sets. Once you have things down, wouldn't it be nice to add HTML tags and customize your reports? Or wouldn't it be nice to be able to do that deep calculating between fields, or just adding to the business efficiency? There are so many things. So when people come to me and they say, yeah, I think we're done training, I ask them questions about where their skill set is. And NetSuite is so robust that they can always learn more. And a lot of times they'll be like, wow, I didn't know the system did that. Yeah. Really, we can do that. It's fantastic. It's the best part of my job is watching that light bulb come on, because people come in the depths of despair, like, how do we use this? I'm so confused. And when we're done, they're so excited because they're now skipping into work because they get it and then they want to build upon their skill set. So really, it shouldn't be a one-time event. It should be something that you're always building upon. You want to always increase your skill set.
Right. That makes sense. I mean, we always talk about how, you start with whatever your core is that you're using NetSuite for, typically financials, and then you're building off of that. And as you're building off of that, you're growing, the system's becoming more robust. You're customizing it or configuring it to your needs. So as that's happening, you're constantly learning, as your business continues to scale up, so does NetSuite. So you have to keep learning. Not to get all meta on you guys here, but that's just like humanity, right? Like, you don't just stop learning in life. Every day should be a learning opportunity. So I kind of actually love that. I know we're talking about business here, but hey, you should always be learning, no matter what it is.
What is so good about what you just said is this is the tool to help maintain growth and success. Because in most cases, when people are learning the system and they're starting to like the system and bond with it, they start building on the suite. They add asset management, they add demand plan, they add whatever it is that they need to help maximize their business. And why not continue to grow with NetSuite when once you understand it, it's a software that does everything. And that's why I'll never leave Oracle until they ask me to, because I believe in this so much. So yeah, great questions. Gosh,
you and me both, Kerman. It's like, I never thought that I'd be drinking I came from entertainment. I didn't know that I'd be drinking the B2B software champagne that is NetSuite. So we're in it together. I'm very passionate about it. Shana, I want to bring this whole thing full circle now. So you told us how your company is using NetSuite. How has, Kerman touched on this about, our customers at large, but how has education played a role in your NetSuite journey? And what would you advise other customers who are tuning in, thinking about LCS Company Pass, from that?
So we purchased the tailored event pack right as we were going live. So we had been working on customizing the system for a better part of 2021. So we went live 2022, and then we discovered that we could buy these tailored event packs. So we did that, and we were assigned or given Darlene Kendrick, who was amazing. She took the time to learn our actual system that had been customized and changed from the out-of-the-box system. Wow. And that's how she taught us. She was going through our exact system and walking through how to do sales order all the way through invoicing, how to run the reports, how to customize reports that we were running, and the different paths to get to whatever it is that you need to do. You can set it as a favorite, you can set it as, a quick shortcut. You can follow the paths along through just the normal way. So she would show us all of that, little tips and tricks along the way. We had one LCS pass in the beginning. So only one of us could go through the videos that they were providing and go through the standard out of the box system. That was helpful, but it was only for one of us.
Right.
We kind of had to teach the other ones as we went along. LCS, the tailored events have been the best thing. They have taught our team how to use the system. The one thing that I would suggest to everybody is to start your LCS process much earlier. If you can get it done, if you can get it started before you start user acceptance training, I believe that would be the best. That would really help you out, help you learn the system, help your entire team learn the system as you were customizing and getting it ready to go live, rather than having it kind of in a mad rush right at the end, right as you go live, to get everybody up to speed.
Yeah, so, that's a super great point. And I actually kind of wanted to go back to the beginning with how did you use LCS for initial NetSuite adoption?
So like I said, we had one pass.
Right.
So only one of us really could be in there and go through the videos, go through the module, and kind of work alongside their test environment, if you will, which now looking back, that was great and a good way we could see the system as it was laid out initially, which I think helped us learn the specific paths to follow once we got our customized system put together.
Right.
We wish we could have all done that in the beginning, looking back, but we worked with what was available to us.
Right.
So now that we know about the event packs, we will continue to utilize those as we go along, as we add more people. I don't think that we're ever going to stop having those in our back pocket.
Yeah, and I know you talked about the event packs, and so I guess if you could get kind of specific here, how have you used LCS to really drive continuous learning within your team and company? What kinds of things are you guys focused on?
So right now we've utilized both the on-demand videos.
Okay.
We went through and kind of picked kind of a long list of things that we felt everybody could benefit from to do as they had time, obviously. But we did make it mandatory for everybody to attend the live events. And, so we have everybody up to speed now mainly we use that for the sales feature and the customer, contact records and how to connect all of those records together. The accounting side, kind of threw a little bit in there, but I've kind of worked with that and done the online videos kind of as I needed things. So I'm glad that they're there. They've been helpful. They actually helped me do the marketing campaign. Not knowing anything about HTML code, I kind of had to learn a little bit. So I will. I'm glad that I had the access to the online videos. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. I was going to ask, how has LCS helped either you specifically or members of your team really leverage the full capabilities of NetSuite? You talked about kind of like marketing campaigns. Is there anything else that you want to kind of shed some light on?
So marketing campaigns has kind of been the big thing right now. And mind you, we're only, 3 months in. So we haven't really had a lot of time to figure out all the things that NetSuite can do to help us. We can email our customers. So we've had to learn how to do that and kind of go through the system and figure out where things are in regards to the whole email process, because that wasn't something we could do before. So I think kind of learning as we go and using the LCS pass when we can't figure it out has been kind of how I've been doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm kind of the go-to person for our teams. They come and ask me and I try and figure it out for them if they haven't been able to figure it out. So I'm learning a lot of the system just by doing that.
There you go. How does NetSuite's offering stand out from competitors in your perspective?
So, when we were doing our looking around to switch from our prior system, the capability to customize the system was actually a really big deal for us. We have a complex invoicing process that takes information from an outside source, and we have to import it and then get it custom modified, reviewed, and then create the invoices. So that was a huge deal. Wow. That was kind of the end all be all. If it was something that wasn't going to work, we weren't going to be able to go with whatever system it was that we had chose. Yep. So NetSuite came through and we have fancy scripts that can now do exactly what we need them to do. And we can email PDF copies of invoices to our customers, which we couldn't do before.
Wow.
It's helped us bring our business up a level, constant communication with our customers, which was hard to do through email blasts before this. So.
Yeah. And as we all know, the longer it takes to get your invoices out to customers, the longer it takes for you to get paid. And, that affects cash flow, right? So especially in this environment. So good to hear that. Were the educational services that NetSuite offered a big part of also going with NetSuite? I mean, did you guys know that you were going to be needing this kind of support?
I don't think that we did up front. As we went along, like I said, we had kind of a long implementation. So we learned these things as we went along.
Right.
I don't think that we realized how valuable it was until we were hooked up with Darlene and the events.
Yeah.
That's been the gold standard now for us.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, we actually had somebody comment about Darlene. I hope Darlene is tuning in, but from Seren, Darlene is amazing. All the NetSuite education folks are just so smart, caring, and very clever. So shout out to all of our NetSuite educational team. We appreciate you, and we know our customers do too. And thank you for that comment, Seren. So, okay, to kind of, I guess, wrap that up, Shana. Let's say somebody is looking at NetSuite right now, didn't know about the educational services we offered, specifically LCS Company Pass. What would you say to them? Like, hey, this is something that you will want to leverage. This is something that competitors don't offer. What would you advise them?
We would advise them definitely that this is important and a huge key to success, to successfully implementing a new system, especially NetSuite. I don't think that our implementation would have gone near as smoothly without having the LCS pass in the beginning, even though it was limited, and then having the LCS live events in the end.
Yeah.
What I would advise, the biggest thing I would advise is start early. Get your entire team involved, because everybody's going to be needing it, using it, and the more they see it, the better it will be once implementation comes around.
That's great. Appreciate that, Shana, so much. Reg, we're going to bring it back over to you. We've gotten so much information about LCS Company Pass, what it's offering our customers, how it's benefited our customers. What does the future hold? How are we ensuring customers are provided relevant training as, NetSuite continues to evolve and change in the coming years?
Yeah, it's so exciting to hear customers like Shana talk about how they're learning about NetSuite, they're learning about new capabilities. First of all, they've had a successful go live, but it's amazing to see how they're embracing continuous learning and how they're using our tools to drive that continued growth and optimization and maximization. And that's really what we're all about. And that's what the future holds for us. And we have a bunch of exciting things we're working on to make sure that every customer gets access to these cool learning tools where they can learn more about how they can, do even better, drive even more value using the of the platform. So we're continuing to expand our library of e-learning content. We're adding a whole ton of live events covering new functional areas, tips and tricks. We have a whole new How Do I series, which is like short micro learning. We can kind of jump on and learn about specific topics. And we have loads more coming. We're also listening to users like Shana around what do they want to learn about? What are some of the things that they might want to see more content on? And so we're expanding our content in those areas to make sure we're addressing those needs. And like you said, NetSuite's always adding new features. There's a ton of new stuff coming out all the time, and we work very closely with our product development organization to make sure we're staying ahead of the game. And as we release new features, we have all of the learning content that customers can tap into to learn about how they can take advantage of those features and how they can integrate them into their existing business processes. So it's all exciting. And another thing we're doing is we're leveraging some cool new technology platforms as well in terms of our learning portal. So when users log in, it's going to be really easy for them to get to the content they want, filter out what are they looking for, what's their experience level on NetSuite, and really get to the type of content that they need to be consuming. So lots of exciting, cool things on the way.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know really optimizing the user experience is such a huge push for us in general here at NetSuite. So that's super exciting. And, I hate to get ahead of myself here, but we are also working on some fun stuff that all of you will be seeing on social as well soon with LCS. So you guys will all have to look forward to that. Kerman, I have one last question before I open it up to our audience. So, hey, for all of you that are tuning in, keep asking your questions. I've seen some of them come through, and we're going to get to them in the live Q&A right after this. So use the comments, ask any questions you may have. It could be whatever. It could be about LCS Company Pass. It could be about our favorite color, or like I asked everybody here earlier, favorite food. But use the comments. Feel free to ask any questions that you have. Give us some more shout outs. And now, Kerman, I'm going to end it with this question from me. Where can our viewers go to learn more about LCS?
So you know what? We've made it so easy. You might not even need to write this down, ladies and gentlemen, because it's netsuite.com/LCS. And that will take you to a list of all the entitlements. You can get into the portal. You can kind of use the filters to see all the beautiful things that we have to offer. I mean, from every single vertical is covered. Reporting, we have 5 different reporting classes. People always struggle with that. If there's a little bit of a learning curve, but once you get it down, the world is your oyster, right? So again, netsuite.com/LCS is going to get you to that ticket to success. And
amazing.
Trained customers are the happiest customers that we have. Look at Shana, she's glowing. People that know the system are the ones who love the system. So,
in fact, I think Shana told us that it was because of her NetSuite education that she got that grade of hair. This is why her hair is so healthy and wonderful. It's because she feels really confident in using NetSuite.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I appreciate that, Kerman. So yes, we'll put the link on the screen here. It's also in the description of wherever you're tuning in from, across whatever platform. It's also in the description of that, so you can click right there. But yep, thank you to you guys can't see her, but we have Tori Youngblood producing this on the back end here. Thank you for putting that up on screen. netsuite.com/LCS. And also reach out to your account manager. If you have any questions about this, go ahead, reach out. If you're a current NetSuite customer, reach out to your account manager and they can also help set you up. And now let's open it up to the audience for some questions. We have some comments coming in here. So I just want to make sure that I give you guys a shout out from Brett. Reg and his team in education are so helpful. So shout out to you, Reg, and your team. Great comment. Now we do have a question here. Okay. From Min, I hope I pronounced that right. How many hours should I just had another one come in. How many hours should I estimate on preparation courses for foundation or system admin before taking certification exams? Whoever wants to, you can raise your hand and take that. I can repeat it again. How many? Oh, you got it? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, great question. I know we have a bunch of different certification courses. And the amount of prep you do really depends on how much experience you have as a NetSuite systems administrator or developer. So, Min, I would say get in touch with one of our education consultants, and we'll work with you and kind of give you some guidance around what type of course certification you're looking for. Is it a Suite Foundation, or is it more of an admin certification? And we'll work with you in all of the prep courses. We have a ton of prep material for users that want to get the formal certification that helps you prepare for the examination and get the certification. So great question, and please connect with us. We'd love to work with you on figuring out what's needed.
Yeah, super great question. Kerman, this one's for you. How do you go about figuring out which courses or trainings to offer?
Well, you know what? It's real. If you go to that, who remembers that link I just said? So if you go to netsuite.com/LCS, there are multiple different filters that you can use. Are you an accountant? Are you working in the warehouse? Are you an administrator that's interested in the certification paths? Where is it that you want to sharpen your skill set? And first, I recommend clicking on your language, because we do it in very many different multiple languages. And then decide, okay, is it reporting? Where do we want to sharpen our skill sets? And it's really kind of intuitive. But remember, with most of our offerings, you have that education and services advisor like Darlene Kendrick, who you can work with, and they will actually put together and help you, assist you to find custom learning paths based on your role and what your responsibilities are. So that's the greatest benefit. I mean, one of the greatest benefits of the education advising sessions. I mean, they also will help you lead your user enablement strategy from cradle to grave. So it's really, when I talk about training, I really have to concentrate on not talking too quickly. And the reason is, in 28 years of doing this, I get to the privilege of watching people come in stressed out and wondering if they made the right decision, to so excited because our skilled professionals that have been here for years and years have the tools that are needed to really set them up for success. As Shana was saying earlier, Darlene has done a great job with these tailored event packs, going in, learning her environment, and doing the training that was custom tailored for their special business processes. It's, again, I said 28 years. This last 12 has been the best of my career, because it's the first time I've really had my heart, mind, and soul behind what it is we're providing, because it's stellar quality. It makes me proud when people ask what I do. It's a half an hour conversation. They could be a makeup artist, and I want to tell them all about it. So, great
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have a couple other questions that have come in around a similar topic, being, I know that the answer to this, but Reg, I'm going to go ahead and have you take this. Is there any NetSuite Learning Cloud support or LCS for individuals that are not NetSuite customers, say student professional, technical or functional consultant for ERP, that are looking to acquire skills in NetSuite? We had a couple questions come in about this. If you're not a NetSuite user, how do you get tools similar to LCS or learn more about NetSuite?
Yeah, it's a fantastic question, and we really want to start to open up education around NetSuite beyond just the NetSuite customer base. And there's so many people out there that we're hearing this demand coming from, that they're like, we want to learn more about NetSuite. We love everything we hear about NetSuite. How do we learn more? How do we kind of get acquainted with NetSuite more? And it's something we're actually working on, Kendall. We're starting to put some of our events as being open to everyone to join in. We have some events coming up over the next few weeks, which is open to anyone that can jump on, learn about NetSuite, ask some questions. Today, you can, if you go to that link I just showed you, you can jump into our learning center from there and kind of like browse all of our content that's there. We're working on an approach which allows us to offer large parts of our content to anyone that wants to learn about NetSuite. So we're kind of working on a hybrid approach where there's going to be some deeper dive areas in some areas, which is going to be really for LCS company pass holders. But for the more casual user that just wants to learn a little bit about NetSuite, kind of look under the hood a little bit, we're going to start to open it up a lot more, enable you to be able to do that on our platform. So stay tuned.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Reg, this actually came in and I think it's similar. The other opportunity to really dive into NetSuite is, of course, SuiteWorld. So is there going to be more opportunity to learn about LCS at SuiteWorld, or how is LCS incorporated into SuiteWorld learnings?
Absolutely. Well, we're super excited to be back at SuiteWorld again this year. We're already planning with the team on some exciting things that we're putting together for attendees. Now, as you know, every year we have our pre-conference training. This year, we're making it even bigger and better. We're expanding the learning opportunities across new areas, so we'll be announcing that soon. During the conference itself, we're going to have a ton of sessions across all of the different tracks, covering a wide number of different functional areas. We'll get an opportunity to meet with our educational consultants as well. We'll be in the expo. Kendall, we did NetSuite TV last year. Show like this year, and attendees will also have the opportunity to come in and talk to us, meet with us, connect with us on the expo floor as well. So lots of cool things. We're kind of deep into planning right now, and we're excited to see all of you at SuiteWorld later this year in Vegas.
Yes, can't wait. Stay tuned to everybody who is tuning in right now for an announcement about when registration will open. We've already announced the dates for SuiteWorld, so look out for that. Check out the SuiteWorld website, and then stay tuned for when registration opens coming soon. And to end here, we do have one last question for you, Shana. Can you give a specific example of a course you or your team really liked?
Well, it's kind of going to go back to the live training. I would say in particular. The live training, we as a team, I have gotten so much feedback about that how great it was and how Darlene her training style really worked for our team. So I would say that's my number one. My number two personally would be the marketing campaign, having to try and work through the online, did the videos for that, try and figure it out, how to do it myself, and I got it. So
there you go.
That's my second favorite one.
Awesome. Really, really appreciate it. And as much as I feel like I could keep talking and keep going through all the shout outs and comments that are coming in, unfortunately, our time here has come to an end. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Reg, Kerman, and Shana. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yes,
of
definitely.
course. And as always, a big thanks to all of you who are tuning in right now. If you want to learn more about NetSuite LCS Company Pass, like I said, we've provided that link in the caption from wherever you're tuning in from, or you can see it right here on screen. It's netsuite.com/LCS. And hey, if you don't already, be sure to give us a follow, a like, or subscribe across any of our social channels so you never miss content just like this. With that, see you soon. Bye.